Another update here at 6, though. It's something you don't always hear, at least when it comes to those stories that we often tell you about U-Hauls that are stolen. But tonight, an interstate traveler was actually reunited with his U-Haul that was stolen just a few days ago. And he was also reunited with at least most of his belongings. Our Tamara Lopez spoke to him today. And Tamara, police told him he was pretty lucky to get the U-Haul back and much of his stuff.
Yeah, Trevor. So Ryan Jonick was traveling to South Carolina from LA. He stopped here in the metro overnight on Saturday, but when he woke up the next day, he found all of his belongings in the U-Haul he had packed and his SUV missing. Now, of course, we've told you about these stories several times over the last few years, but like you mentioned, this story has a much better ending. So Jonick says that he has a lot of music equipment in that U-Haul, and he frequently mails it to friends for work, and he keeps track of the packages he mails with Apple AirTags he attaches to some of the microphones in those packages. Those AirTags, along with the low jack, it's a GPS device in his wife's SUV, helped Albuquerque police track down the stolen U-Haul just a day after it was stolen. Jonick says Apple AirTags only work when they're next to an Apple device or can connect to Wi-Fi, so it took a few hours, but eventually those AirTags pinged and he was able to track them. He gave police the info and then just waited for police to call him, even though he had the address where the U-Haul with all his stuff and his car were.
People will understand I'm from Detroit, and I understand that there are just some places you don't want to go, and you just hold off for a second. That's more of like a thing that you figure out by living in an area that you do. So yeah, it was fine. I knew that I would go over there at some point, but it was kind of agonizing. Just say like, yo, is our truck here? Is our car here?
The U-Haul truck was found along with what police told Jonick was another stolen U-Haul in the backyard of a South Valley home. Jonick says the truck was completely ransacked. The boxes were all torn open. Several items were broken or just still missing. And today we talked to APD about how helpful GPS tracking devices like AirTags can be for officers and about Jonick's decision to just stay put.
Fortunately, there's been incidents in the past where people have gone after their own property, and we've had some tragic incidents happen from that. So I would definitely tell people not to try to find the property themselves, to call law enforcement, and then if they provide us with those coordinates, we'll dispatch officers out there and locate it for them. And that's the safest route to go. Those things are really helpful for us because we're able to recover the property a lot faster, and that oftentimes take us to the offender. Sometimes if you're not able to recover it in a quick fashion, then they ditch the property somewhere, and then you may not get the person in custody.
So Jonick says he still actually doesn't know everything that's missing because at this point, now that he has most of his stuff back, he's really just eager to get to South Carolina and get out of Albuquerque. But he says if people here can just be on the lookout for Nine Inch Nails memorabilia, rare posters and other items like that, and especially a framed poster of all the band members that he had signed by every Nine Inch Nail band member when he met them a couple years ago. He says to him that item is pretty priceless and can't really be replaced, right? So if you have any information on that, you can reach out to police, but he's still just grateful to have what he can back tonight. Trevor?